Anthony Edwards got put out. The Thunder. Vinny's like Thunder brought back to 40 minutes of hell, dog. They out here getting it, and they're the ones that decided we gonna see what the refs won't call, right? And they are pressing it. They are doing it. It is very interesting because it's hard for me to think that their number 2 would not be like the least impressive number 2 that I could think of on a championship team. Like they feel like Shea and the Low Spades. They do, but they're getting it done. Like, I'm not saying that as an insult to what kind of team they are. I'm just saying I think this new CBA situation is going to lead to much different constructions of what a champion are. But they got him out of there, which means that Anthony Edwards is out of there. They had Ant-Man up there. They asked him how much it hurt, and he was like, nah, man, it don't really hurt. I'm just excited. I loved his answer personally. I'm excited about getting another chance. Like, not everybody has to be motivated by misery. But at the same time, you was giggling a little bit too much after you got lit up, and now you had to like change that. It's a shame that this is the world, right? Like, you gotta at least pretend and put that look on your face. But here's what's wild to me, and I'm curious if you had this same thought. Anthony Edwards has now played 5 years in the NBA. Anthony Edwards is 23 years old. Now that Anthony Edwards has gone to the conference finals twice, they look at Anthony Edwards like, now what? Like, he is no longer, the fresh face game is over. He's now no longer allowed to do cute stuff like walk around LA after they got that win or whatever it is. All of that is over now. Like, LeBron didn't even get it that soon. We didn't make LeBron act like an adult until he got to Miami. Remember when they used to be taking all them fake pictures and shit? Yeah. We ain't make him do none of that, right? The Thunder, by the way, since they keep on winning, they can do the interviews with 8 people up there. Anthony Edwards, once again, gotta grow up fast.
So, at first, I think part of the Anthony Edwards experience is he had no choice but to laugh. Because I watched those games. You ain't had no goddamn hope.
They put a boxing 1 on him. Look, I know not everybody feels the way that I feel about zone defense. I believe that zone is for cowards. I understand not everybody in the same place. I don't know how you got any love for basketball and you could be tolerant of looking up and watching motherfucking professionals run a boxing 1. I'm like, how in the world does Adam Silver not come down from the ceiling and be like, we not going to live like this? This is not what we going to do. We going to throw a boxing 1 at somebody?
And that's the point. Like, that's why he was like laughing after that. And that's why after the next one, he's like, I'm excited about next year. It's like, you can't be completely honest in the moments. And in that moment, it's like, we didn't have a chance. And it felt like, I don't want to say he gave up, or conceded, but it felt like at a certain point in that series, he was like, all right, this ain't going to happen, man. Like, this just ain't going to happen. These motherfuckers are killing us. It just ain't going to happen.
There's nothing I can do about this. Like, that game where people said he needed to shoot more, that fourth quarter, they were shooting as a team like 65%.
Yeah.
Like, they were getting the buckets. This was not, it almost felt like, you ever remember that game when Steph was in college at Davidson and that team double teamed him the whole game, even when he didn't have the ball?
And they still won, didn't they? Davidson still won, right?
Yeah, Davidson still won, but like, what was Steph supposed to do? Shoot through it?
He's doing exactly what he's supposed to do. Attracting the 1 in the boxing 1 or attracting the double team. Like, what more can you ask for from a player? I would push back a little bit on one thing you said is like, they let LeBron play around. Maybe I experienced it differently, but it felt like as soon as LeBron got in the league, it felt like we was already counting rings on him, and it felt like the pressure on him was higher than anyone before or since.
So this is what I'd say. I don't think you're wrong in that, but let me be a little clearer about what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
He got to the finals in 2007, right? So that was year 4. Ooh. And it was at 22 years old.
With the Cavs, boy.
And that's exactly who they were, the Cavs. The details do not matter. They were the Cavs, right? And so he got there, but I felt like when they got to the second round, that next year, they went to game 7 against the Big 3 Celtics, the year the Celtics won the championship. LeBron scored 45, I want to say, in game 7, but we weren't killing them for the fact that they lost. In 2009, it got a little hotter, right? But he still had 38, 8-8 in the conference finals. That is maybe the best play I've ever seen in a postseason. It may have been him for those 3 rounds, right? But it was the next year where he mailed in that game 5 against the Celtics. That's when it was just like, okay, like the headband The headband, I felt like, no, the headband came off after he got back to Cleveland, right? But he stopped doing them goofy pictures and stuff like that. Like that's what I'm talking about, where
Okay,
he wasn't
gotcha.
allowed to do that. Where Ant-Man, all that stuff that we found to be like youthful and adorable, over. All of that's over. You can't do any of those things now because you made the conference finals twice.
You're gonna have to. I mean, you can bring them back once you win a title.
Yes.
And until then, you are on probation with us. You can't be fun. You can't smile. You can't be happy. You must go back and go to the lab or whatever and come back angry and take over the whole league. But ain't nothing he can do about that defense, man. That's all.
Hey, man, everybody's got a real big problem. I've seen people make this argument that just about all these teams, like my buddy Nick made this point, that all these teams that we thought were going to go on long runs after winning a championship, clearly none of them did. We have not had repeat champions since 2018. And I understand that argument on its face, but none of those teams were constructed like this team is. All of those teams were constructed according to a paradigm that you can no longer fulfill under this collective bargaining agreement. It was teams other than the Nuggets, but even the Nuggets had 3 guys who made a boatload of money. 4 guys actually. It was Aaron Gordon, Porter, Murray, and Jokic. But it was, you got your stars, and then it goes from there, and then it's kind of tricky, like what you put up after that. The difference with the Thunder is they got the guys, and where everybody loses somebody, like the Nuggets did not recover from losing Bruce Brown, for example. The Lakers losing Caruso was a really big deal for them. We can go up and down. The Bucks with their problems they generally have, but now Chris Middleton is not the guy that he used to be. The Warriors, Jordan Poole, it mattered, right? Like having that other guy, it's those little things at the margins. Yeah, right. But dog, these dudes is all 19, 20 years old. Yeah. And if you lose them, don't you worry. They've got 13 first-round picks over the next however many years that they can use to make whatever happen that they need to make happen. Their MVP caliber player is crazy young. Chet Holmgren is 23 years old, I want to say. I want to say the Jalen Williams dude, he can't be no more than like 25. They can just roll out more dudes.
I mean, I'm with you, but they are the most well-positioned team. But you still, like, they could miss on those picks. The Chet Holmgren is body. Like, I get it. At 13, you could use the package of picks to trade to get somebody that's not a miss. Like, I get that they have a bunch of options to get it done. But it does feel like at some point they're gonna have to pay everybody.
But I have a measure of faith that they got a guy that knows how to go get more guys.
That's true. That's the thing. I think we want to give a lot of attention to like the accumulation of assets, but I think that's the point, that what makes it feel like it is sustainable is that Sam Presti has shown that he knows how to find the right guys. Right. Well, let me ask you give him 13 picks, you got to assume that 3 of them going to hit.
Let me ask you this. Who else in the league has the guys and the picks?
Nobody.
They have the guy. Clearly, they have the guys, right? Mm-hmm. They've had the best. I mean, they won 60 games last year, right? They won 60-something games this year. They have the guys, and they have the picks, and they have youth. So what happens with these other situations is you lose something at the margins, and you just don't have the capital to be able to make an adjustment. Even if they make the wrong adjustment, they can make an adjustment. Minnesota had to trade Karl-Anthony Towns because they wasn't going to be able to pay him. The Knicks, who are in a real trick bag because they don't have the picks, and they have 2 guys where their 2 best players can't play on the floor at the same time with each other because neither one of them, dudes that don't play defense, is like the line about having knuckleheads. You can have one, but you can't have 2. Right?
Yeah. I think you used the right word too. It's not that they don't want to play defense, at least in Brunson's. It's that he can't, man.
Right.
Yeah, he just can't. I mean, he'd be out there fighting Cat. I guess you could make a different argument, but like, I think that maybe for non-physical reasons, he also can't. Like, he just can't, man. We get upset about the dumb fouls. They're not going away. It is who he is. Like, he just can't do it. He can't not do it, I guess.
He's so... I realize what creates the disconnect with him because he still has people, right?
Yeah.
There are times when you can watch him and think that you are watching one of the 5 best players in the NBA. And that's the problem. You know who he reminds me of? Rex Grossman.
Oh,
People think of Rex Grossman being sorry. No, 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 no. The problem with Rex Grossman wasn't that he was terrible. The problem with Rex Grossman was at his best, he could be so good that you had to game plan around the idea that we have a good quarterback,
right.
right? Karl-Anthony Towns can look like one of the best players in the NBA, and then he'd just go out there and he'd be out there, hey, where's the ball? Trying to figure out where to go on defense, the fouls, some of them crazy shots he takes. Like, I'm telling people, man, it worked out good this first year in New York. There's
Yeah.
no way that that's a sustainable situation, especially since their favorite player, Jalen Brunson, they can't play together.
Yeah. Yeah, and to your point, they don't have many other options. They overachieved based on our expectations with this current group of guys, but they still don't have any other moves. There's
And
nothing else they can do.
they traded the picks to get Bridges on that cheap contract. Like, I think that people misunderstand. It wasn't 4 first round picks because Mikal Bridges was that good.
Right.
It was 4 first round picks because Mikal Bridges was that cheap. Right? For what he's still making something like mid-20s, I want to say something like that. That is a steal for
Mhm.
that guy in this NBA. But they can't, I don't know what it is they're going to be able to do to get better. Not Minneapolis, Indiana is interesting because, again, like they got Siakam, they got obviously Halliburton, they got Miles Turner, and then what's his name? Your boy, buddy, him. They
Miles
got a
Turner is
lot of
up, ain't
dudes.
he?
Dude, they've been trying to trade Miles Turner for so long. Let me look at what Miles Turner's contract
I thought
actually
he's
says.
yeah.
You're probably right, but he has been on the trade. He's been on the trade block for so long. The trade block should retire his jersey. Like, and think about how long we've been hearing about Miles Turner. And you are correct. Miles Turner's deal is up at the end of this year.
I mean, he's not going to be cheap. So that
But I
roster
say
constraint.
he's
Yeah.
been a steal.
Yeah.
Miles Turner at $20 million.
It's great
Been
bargain.
a steal.
He's rim
Right.
protector that can shoot. Like, yeah.
Right. And so while everybody else is figuring that out, Sam Presti over here, like, I got all like Sam Presti, he building hotels. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got some greens, I got some blues. I'm about to put some houses on these deeds.
Yeah, and the Knicks got. I mean, I guess I was gonna say Broadway, but nah. I mean, literally, it's there, but I don't know what Brunson would be. It ain't It ain't quite Broadway.
Nah. Brunson, you know what Brunson is? I don't know. I just love that house. You know, like I know
Yeah,
they're bigger houses. I know they're
yeah,
nicer houses. I know there's houses with pools in the back. Hey, this house doesn't have a security system. Anybody can break in here.